I've talked to a number of particularly, it seems like almost always women with these eating disorders, particularly anorexia. It's uncommon in men. But what my understanding is, they just, if they hospitalize folks, they just put them on all this pure junk food. I mean, they try to get more calories into you. I mean, was that attempted, or how did they attempt to try to help you?
Okay, I had a different hospitalization, and they tried to fed tube me,
tube feed you,
like putting the tube in my nose and feeding me like this. It was garbage. So I kept the tube for months and months. But having this nutrition, I don't know if you have a look before at the composition of the feeding food, is carbs, even vegetarian protein, like pea protein, stuff like this, and seed oil and stuff like this. And my body reacted really badly to all this nutrition. And when it was not about tube feeding, but normal feeding with additional protein cream and stuff like this, it was full of carbs, and I was having refeeding syndromes. So I was full of edemas, and I was feeling like shit, And so having all this food and feeling that bad, even worse than when I was starving, my brain was telling me like, okay, the food is not good for you, because you're having all these calories and you feel worse and worse and worse. So it was nourishing my anorexia mind.
Yeah, it's interesting. Some of these enteral feeds, these tube feeds, where they have, and for you guys who don't know, they'll just run a tube up through your nose and down your esophagus into your stomach, and it'll just pump, food in there. And it's vegetable oil, it's cheap protein, it's sugars and things like that. It's just really bad stuff, and they're getting that in you. Let me ask you, how was your digestion going on? Did you have a lot of digestive issues, bloating, pain, things like that when you did eat? And then what about your skin and your hair? I mean, your teeth are falling out, so I imagine your skin and hair were taking a beating too.
Okay. If you take picture of myself, like 4 years ago, I was totally bald. I lost all my hair. Okay. Totally bald. Wow. So yeah, it was like just the worst state for a woman, not being able to walk, not being able to have hair. I lost my boobs, I lost my period, I lost all my feminine stuff. My stomach was so bloated. It was really, really bad all the time. And I was looking like, these kids in Africa, when they are underage, that they have the huge stomach compared to the rest of their body.
Yeah, something called kwashiorkor. Yeah, they'll have this protein energy malnutrition. They have these big stomachs and ascites. So, I mean, you're at 69 pounds. You've got a bloated stomach. Your hair is gone. You can't walk. You're relegated to a wheelchair. You're depressed. Teeth have fallen out. You're almost dead at this point. I mean, you're as low as it can be, probably. I can't imagine a more kind of miserable place to be. Sorry to say that, but I mean, so how did you find Carnivore? I mean, where were you at when you just started Carnivore? And that had been tough to do. How did you mentally make that shift that I'm going to do Carnivore after years of, being vegan and not wanting to eat anything? I mean, how did that work?
I will start eating a little bit of protein before switching to Carnivore. And I've done it for around 2 years. I was eating a little bit of meat, but really lean meat, lean fishes, and not too much. You eating still a lot of vegetables like lettuce, because lettuce is like 0 calories, and eating a lot of sugar-free stuff and everything. And I gained a couple of pounds, but not too much. What I am saying all the time is during this time, I was surviving and not living my life, And like 2 years ago, I say, come on, I need to heal my mental health. And I was looking for some dietary advices to heal mental health. And I found out about the ketogenic diet. And I looked at it and I saw that it was about tracking the protein, the fat, and all my life has been about tracking calories. I was even tracking the calories in the sugar-free gums. So I knew what it was about tracking. And I say, no, ketogenic diet is not really for me. And then looking at the ketogenic diet, I found out about Carnivore that was saying like, just eat the meat, eat the fat, and don't calculate anything, don't track anything. And I wanted to switch to this, but I was so scared. So I started switching to Carnivore, eating only protein, but only only lean protein. And I didn't feel good at all because I didn't have the fat at all. And in July, I was in holidays with my son and my nieces, and I was not able to go to the sea because I was freezing cold. And I was not able to just to go and swim as a normal woman, you know? And so I say, come on, Claire, you don't have anything to lose. And I took a coaching session with a coach in Revero.
Oh, okay.
And this coach was amazing. And she told me, like, you have to eat. The food is your medicine. And if you were sick with a flu and you go to see your doctor and your doctor tells you have to take one pill and you're healed tomorrow, or you have to take half a pill and you will be healed in a week, or you have to take a quarter of the pill and you will be healed in a month, what do you choose? And I say, of course, I take the full pill. I want to heal tomorrow. And she says, so take the food, take the meat, take the fat, and eat as crazy, and you will heal the faster as possible. I was so scared, but from one day to another one, I add only fatty meat and animal fat to my diet, and I started eating high-fat carnivore, and it was a life changer.
Wow, awesome. That's wonderful. And what did you choose? I mean, I'm just wondering what your first, entrecote? I mean, what was it? The ribeye, for you guys that don't know. That's
honestly, my stomach was that messy that I was not able to handle a big piece of meat. Mm-hmm. What I was eating mainly was all the easy food to digest. So I was going with ground beef because it's already mashed. Mm-hmm. I was eating raw yolks because it's so easy to drink food. And with tons of yolks, you can give so much nutrient to your body. And I was snacking on butter, and I couldn't stop snacking on the fat. I was really eating fat and fat and fat. And when people are telling me now that they cannot handle the fat, okay, I didn't eat a stick of butter during 20 years, I suppose. And I started eating butter, and I was eating up to 6 sticks a day.
Wow.
Because my body was craving for the fat, and I was just not able to stop it. I was eating fat all the time, and my body handled it fantastically.
Well, it's good for you. That's awesome. And at what point did you know this was working for you? How soon did it take you to say, wow, this is really changing me?
It was so fast. I cannot say that I didn't have a keto flu because I had, but the main symptom was a very bad breath. Mm-hmm. And otherwise, it was really easy to handle. And, it was like body happiness. It's really what I can say. My body was that happy to get this nutrition that when I started eating this way, I couldn't stop. And since the moment I started eating this way, I was not able to restrict anymore. I'm not able to restrict at all. When I see people doing fasting and everything, I fast for months. I know what it is to fast. But since I started carnivore, I have to eat when I'm hungry. Yeah. My body is so happy with it.
Yeah.